Hello, welcome back to Let's Play Shadowrun, um, Hong Kong. And we're going to do crew improvements right now. Shrine Spirits. Huh. Okay. So, spirits summoned by Goblin are now present for an additional turn before dispelling themselves for a total of 3 rounds. Poison Fog is upgraded to Acidic Fog. This is better. I like this. I'm going to go with that. Why do I hit confirm all when I haven't done everything yet? Okay. Spiritualist. A mini launcher comes with napalm charges. I'm going to give you the boost to your decking because you're a decker. I'm going to give you the modded flashbang. What has this been? Firepower round. Incendiary. Oh, okay. Bites. Coup de grace. On stunned opponents. That one's not going to be too terribly useful. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah. Because that's a self-heal. Okay. Overclock. Toolkit's repair ability is 5 rounds to 3 rounds. Augment ability repair. Which of these do I think I'm going to do the repair one, and we're going to confirm all. Exit. Okay. I should probably talk to all my crew, but I have money. So we're going to go talk to Ambrose. Besides, I just heard report of a ripshot who died. Ah, Shadowrun. Shadowlands, you always make me happy. Well, you're not dead. Ambrose is staring at a flat panel monitor on the wall. Local news channel zoomed in on an ultra-modern aircraft carrier moored in Victoria Harbor. Are you following the IGN story? A Kinsei fighter wing from the Masamune did an honorary flyby of the Executive Council meeting today. They're rattling the saber hard. Everybody's being courteous as hell, but nobody's blinking. What are you talking about? The Imperial Japanese Navy. They've parked the carrier Masamune's battle group in Hong Kong for a visit. They're trying to intimidate the city. Nobody's having it, not even the Japan Corps. It looks like it's been driven by some sort of weird internal Japanese pissing match. The Imperial materialists want to cow Hong Kong and bring it under the umbrella. However, almost every megacorps, including all the Japan Corps, want Hong Kong to remain independent. Tensions are high. Is there any chance that Japan will take over the Hong Kong Free Enterprise Zone? No way, not in a million years. This kind of rooster show goes down all the time. Worst that'll happen is a bunch more posturing like the IGN has an accidental fire incident with a coastal boat. Somebody test fires an anti-ship missile. The Port Authority finds Masamune's paperwork lacking and charges them exorbitant harbor fees. Noise like that. They're a bunch of square-haired idiots with muscle cars revving at each other. Just stay out of smuggler holes. The IGN likes to go on sprees of blowing them up to show how well protected HK would be under the yoke. Ambrose snorts in amusement. Those honorary flyover fighters had live ordnance loaded. Ridiculous. Say what you will, though. That Kinsei multi-role fighter is a sweet bird. Ambrose ogles a close-up one of the shark-like jets on the wall screen. Twin Mitsubishi double-aught Delta turbofan engines, ramjets, thrusting vectoring, Generation 4, flight by wire. Hey, gorgeous. do I have anything to worry about? Yeah, don't go into a bar full of drunk Japanese sailors with a free San Francisco t-shirt on. Ambrose snickers. This whole IGN drama is going to go on like it always does. The Japanese Navy will eventually realize no one is even paying attention. Then they're going to steam off in a huff, maybe blow a few smugglers out of the water. Happens all the time. Ugh, politics, I can only talk about them so much. Let's move on. After you got smashed up, how did you become a street dog? You want to keep going with this, Noel? All right. After that ambush, things were desperate for a long time. We had to borrow a lot of money. Karen had blown ears and a brain injury. I was a chunk of raw meat. I was so bad I was almost euthanized. Shit, I wanted to be put down. Then we turned the tide. How did you turn the tide? Land the plane, Ambrose. Why didn't they euthanize you? Because of Karen. She raised holy hell about it. She was trans-Catholic, and they're dead set against suicide. To them, it's the worst sin. See, they think we're all incarnate to do our life's karmic work, no matter how shitty that work is. All other beings in the universe rely upon us to finish it, so we must see our lives through. Personally, I don't buy it. I don't believe this universe is that cruel. Karen is a walking contradiction. She had high aspirations, but she was terrible at all that thou shalt not kill or steal or throw people off subway platform stuff. She was like, Ambrose, if you smoke yourself, I will hunt you down in your next life and gut you. I felt I owed it to her to live. That was the first time I ever felt like I owed anything to anyone. And then what she did to me, unfucking believable. What did Karen do? That's a raw nerve, Joel. Ambrose's brow draws low. He glances with intense anger toward the operating table for a moment. Karen betrayed me. I don't want to talk about it. So, how did you turn the tide? Or our hall had a really high-grade medical program in it, and I figured out a wild kludge to run it on my cyber. We borrowed a bunch of money from Kindly and the Ka-Fi tribe to set up Chrome Alley. The rest is history. I thought we'd make a killing. He looks proudly around at the medical clinic cum machine shop. Maybe it's not a killing, but it's turned out to be a pretty good life. Do you worry about the program's owners coming after you? Hey, I worry about a lot of people coming after me. Nobody's ever really gets out of the shadows, but my trail is cold. I've had this thing for 5 years now. Ripshot is dead. Tin-Armed Ambrose lives here now. Okay, show me your services. Cyberware. Tune-up. Skill wires. More control of the reaction time? Wow. +1 strength, +5 HP. Synth Cardium. Artificially enhanced +1 dodge, +1 we don't need +1 movement. +1 throwing weapons would go for grenades. Neuronet skill wires. That's bonus to throwing weapons only, don't need that. 6% to hit. This looks nice. Essence costs 1. +1 to all physical attributes. That's quite nice. Wired reflexes. Ooh, I would love that. But right now, I have this. Body installs. What's this? Plastic. Will dodge the first attack against you each round. Last 3 rounds. Cost 0 AP. Cooldown 4. +1 body. What can I get in the brain? +1 intelligence. Not terribly useful. That would be useful. What skin? Cross-dermal sheath. BioWare? Not too terribly useful there. +1 armor. Cross-dermal sheath. Huh. Right leg. Ooh. Left leg, it's the same. Right arm. Huh. Silver jolt alert? Oh, okay. Induction data jack. I already have a data jack. Yeah, that's the only thing you can really put there. Okay. We're going to get a hydraulic jack Mark 1. Yes. Confirm. Confirm. Come back to garage soon. Goodbye, Ambrose. Time for me to go. Yes, it just takes an afternoon to do that. Cheers, Noel. Talk to you later. Sometimes the model changes to account for one of the I think in the past it has done that. I don't know if it had. Used in Dragonfall, Cyber Hands got showed off as mechanical in some cases. It doesn't look like it's going to be on this. So, yeah, okay. Yep. Let's look at my cyberware real quick. +3 movement. I probably should have gotten that Syncardium because it's +1 to all. Yeah, I probably should have because then it would have been fine. Okay. Let it slowly pan over there. Hello, maximum law. Let's see if I have more metadata I can sell you. I've got some metadata for you. Not doing that one. This one. Really? Indeed, there was some sort of ancient text, probably sorceress, and awakened monsters have invaded the tomb. Whoa, are you serious? That's nuts! Law slaps his thighs for emphasis. Boom! More proof for my theory. The Kong is done. I give it 2 years tops before demons or something eat everybody. Let's see what I've got for you. Grab a program. Here's my surplus stack. Check this shit out. Have you got some new yen? I'll build this as a data expense while Pearl recognizes the intrinsic value of money. That's 200. Information is money. Boom. It's a pleasure handling meta with you, Noel. Law beams happily. A little meta is like a fresh memory defragment. It makes a whole day better. See you, Law. Okay, gotta go? Okay, watch your back and shoot straight and all. I got things to do. I got things to do, too. Okay, we're going to go talk to Crafty. Oh, hello! A heavy scent buffets your senses, the scent of pure, unadulterated book. Woody, musky, dusty, the light herbal essence from before seems like an afterthought in the wake of a paper smell. Looking around, you see the shopkeeper has abandoned her earlier feeble attempts at organizing the texts. Several of the towers of books are now reduced to piles on the ground. A piece of paper caught somehow in a ceiling raft rustles gently above you. Crafty, you in? You hear a shuffling of papers, an arm rolls out from under a pile of blankets and books, and Crafty raises her head, a notebook spread out open on top of it. The book topples the floor. Oh, hey. Her voice cracks. Crafty clears her throat with a cough and stumbles out of her pile. Her voice is clear when she speaks again. Sorry about the mess. I was up all night reading, or rather up every night reading. She stretches. You look dog tired. Are you feeling all right? I've been better, if that's what you mean. Going through these notebooks has been hard, not just because of the sheer amount of information. It's been a nostalgic ride, too. Your health, if these journals are kicking your ass, you can always stop. Your health comes first. No way, I've dug myself too deep to back out now, and I don't say that as a bad thing. I've made progress. I'm proud of that. She leans on a book-covered chair. The sooner I figure out these dreams, the sooner I can rest, and trust me, Noelle, I'll make up for it in spades with naps. If that's your plan, remember to pace yourself. You won't get anything done if you become sick. You make a good point. I appreciate the advice, but don't worry, it's not a total slog. These journals are just as exciting as they are laborious. So, what's the latest? The latest. She walks over to a glass table and starts tossing books off of it. As she digs through them, you realize the table's not actually a table, but a glass display case full of dried medicinal ingredients. Crafty withdraws the notebook from the pile. It's binding unraveling. The pages holding on for dear life. Here we go. This one's loaded. With what? Got a couple of big finds. Mom's notes are a mess, so I boiled them down to the most important information. An exorcism and the Yama Kings. Where do you want to start? Tell me about the Yama Kings. Crafty turns to a page marked with a red sticky note. Tell me, how much do you know about the Yama Kings? I've run across stories about them in my own research. Personally, I'd only heard about the Yama Kings in fables and myths, things to scare children to sleep, to inspire awe. As you can guess, an intimate knowledge about imaginary beings is largely non-existent, and here, she taps the page, we found the demons of Walled City. Though my mother's excursions into the slums, she came to learn that its residents had their own unique Yama Kings, different from the traditional ones. The people there are segregated from the rest of Hong Kong. Over time, they came to believe that their home was possessed by local demons. It makes sense, considering the place is a pinch hit for crime and disaster. I've heard this before. Do their Yama Kings have names? There were 3 that Mom knew of. Lam Vi, Fu Meng, and King Ya. Each Yama King is associated with the negative energy on which they feed. Lam Vi feeds from cowards, Fu Meng from the guilty, and King Ya slaves. Unfortunately, my mother's handwriting declined with her sanity. She rubs her forehead in frustration. She has a lot of details in here about these local Yama Kings, but I could only make out bits and parts. There's a list, something here about her mouth twists sideways and her eyes squint, straining to read the notes. Rules? Maybe laws of some sort? The thing that stood out to me is here. She plops a finger onto the page. It's about the propriety surrounding ownership in deals, exchanges, negotiations, luncheons? No, that last part can't be right. Anyway, it says the Yama Kings, under rules or laws, must adhere to the terms of a deal, and there's something else, but... She sighs and flips the paper onto the counter. Nope, sorry, can't read anything past that. You know, it's strange to me that Mom found these mystical beings significant enough to mention in her documents. It makes me wonder if she thought they were real or connected to the curse that she believed in. A thump, and Crafty closes the notebook. She casually tosses it back onto the display case. It's not the best lead, but I think it's a step in the right direction. Tell me about the exorcism. She flips through the notebook, and after locating the right page, lays the book on the counter. Her index finger glides across the notes as she summarizes its contents. One of Mom's trips to the Walled City, she decided to check out an archway, an old crumbling relic the residents believed to be haunted. Mom wasn't sure about the hauntings, but upon entering the area, she immediately felt that it was a place of concentrated ki. I know someone who's mentioned that same arc. She's from the walled city. Crafty looks up from the notebook. I believe that. It's a fairly prominent landmark. Seems to me like most of the people from walled city would at least have heard of it, not seen it. What did she say? I can boil it down to creepy. Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there. At least from what my mother wrote, it was a seriously bad thing. Go on. The key wasn't like your standard run-of-the-mill energy. Even for the walled city, this key was exceptionally dark. It all seemed to gravitate toward the arc. So she did what any cook of her magic brand would try, a Taoist exorcism. How did that go? It went to hell. The exorcism failed and something happened to her. She broke. Crafty takes a deep breath through her nose. My mother had entered the city strong, confident, and capable. But when she left that day, it's hard to explain. It's as if the experience left her vulnerable to those base horrors within the walled city. She grew paranoid, became frail of mind and body, a mere shadow of her former self. It's as if she'd witnessed something and it changed her. She became more obsessed than ever, and that's how I remember her now, as that broken woman. I'm not sure how this fits into our investigation, but if that sort of malevolence is coursing through the walled city, it's no wonder the people who live there experience such terrible dreams. Well, that's pleasant. Back so soon? Tell me what you need and I'll see what I can do. Think you could send me a copy of those notes? Crafty taps her finger to her nose. Already a step ahead of you. I just finished digitally transcribing the information. I'll send it your way as soon as I find my terminal. That'll be great. Appreciate it. You're welcome. Expect them soon. I'll let you get back to that. Sounds like a plan. See you soon. And will you send me more? Looking to buy something or just feeling social? Just browsing. Thanks, Crafty. See you around. Why is the street samurai spending so much time in the magic shop? This austere, refined-looking elf is browsing the shop's collection of telesma, herbs, and crystals. Noting your approach, he turns to face you. Good evening, my friend. I hope it's been a pleasant one. It's been good, pretty good so far. You? The elf cocks his head, considering the question. I have definitely had worse nights, without a doubt, as I suspect have many who live here in Hayoi. One need only to look to the walled city to see how far into misery and squalor one can fall. My name is Aljernon Half-Dream, and it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Algernon does not extend his hand, but he does incline his head politely. It's not quite a bow, but almost. You've got some interesting eyes, Algernon. Do I? I never really thought about them, to tell you the truth. They allow me to see, and there our relationship ends. Surely there must be many people in Hayoi with interesting eyes. Cybersurgery is so common these days to be almost routine. I'm going to finish the discussion with Algernon. Most people's eyes don't glow, Algernon. I suppose that's true, but there's so many inexplicable quirks of genetics in this post-awakening world. Birds that summon lightning, dogs that breathe fire, cats that transform into lions. Glowing eyes seem a small thing taken in comparison to all those. You don't sound like a local. No, I am not, I admit, though I have been to Hong Kong many times in the past. I was acquainted with Mao's mother, Eleanor. Algernon spares a moment to survey the shop. I must say it's been kept in wonderful condition, if not improved somewhat. Where are you from originally? I have been traveling my entire life. I rarely stay in one locale for long. I would consider nowhere and everywhere my home. When you speak as many languages as I do, it is inevitable that they begin to bleed together, though I've always had a particular fondness for Cantonese. There's a lyrical quality few other languages can match. I think you're far older than written history of this world. I think you are maybe fourth world, fifth world, third world. Now the fifth world was the Earth, was the modern world. This is sixth world. I think you're fourth world, if not older. You've been in the walled city? No. There's a leaden finality to Algernon's tone. He pauses for a moment before elaborating. I have looked around outside and spoken to some residents who trade at the edge, but I have not entered it. The misery and hopelessness of those within it is overwhelming. I would prefer not to venture too near such a well of negativity. Those emotions have colored and warped astral space in a unique fashion, one that I felt was worth studying, albeit from afar. He shakes his head sadly. Such a waste of human potential to think of all the ways the world and fate have failed those people. Are you a mage or shaman? What makes you think I'm either of them? Perhaps I'm simply an inquisitive soul. Algernon smiles and gestures toward the racks of magical accessories on the wall. Of course, a merely inquisitive soul would not be interested in purchasing any of this. Perhaps I am both, or neither. The nature of magic is fluid, especially in these tumultuous times, so soon after the dragons have awoken. Too many people try to draw binary divisions between methods of thaumaturgy. At the heart of things there is will, there is power, and there is change. See you later, Algernon. Safe travels, my friend. Yes, later editions of Shadowrun included a lot of traditions. There's even a tradition that doesn't believe the spirits are really beings, that they're just psychic projections. But my timer did go off, and I am going to go out here and remember that I was doing pre-run checkup. So talk to you later. Bye.